when you compare that to the turnout in 2008. And this comes between all those personal attacks that are just slamming Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. Those are getting harsher, more personal, and some say just downright silly. Will all this have a lasting effect on the general election? Jessica Tarloff is a Democratic pollster and strategist. She's also senior political strategist at Schoen Consulting. Matt Schlapp, chairman of the American Conservative Union, also a former White House political director under President George W. Bush. Jessica and Matt, welcome to both of you. Let me start, Jessica, with the turnout. Is it a bad omen, do you think, that the Democratic turnout seems to be far less today than the Republicans?
Well, no, as a Democrat, I think it's great. It's nice to see an energized group of voters getting out there. I think a lot of that is due, I want to give credit to Bernie Sanders, who's been mobilizing people, not as much as Obama did, but he's been doing that. And I think that we can also thank, the African-American establishment in South Carolina and Jim Clyburn and the work that Hillary Clinton has been putting in there to really make it clear how important it is that people get out to vote and to support Hillary Clinton specifically, who's, leading in almost all the categories here.
Well, Matt, there is a point, President Obama's not on the ballot, obviously, which drove a lot of people to the polls back in 2008. But is Donald Trump, in a sense, maybe doing that same thing this time there?
Yeah, let's make this clear. Republican primary voters are voting in record numbers in every one of these states, and the same is going to be true in South Carolina when we compare Republicans to Democrats. The fact is, we're in a little bit of a food fight, Eric, to be honest. There's some name-calling going on. I have 5 kids. It makes me feel like I'm at my dinner table sometimes. But the fact is this, which is Republicans are engaged in this fight, in this contest. That will serve us well because eventually we're going to nominate somebody. We have to pull together. And clearly the Democrats, they don't have that much excitement for Hillary Clinton. If she's their nominee, they might like her, but they sure don't love her.
Yeah, let me get back. Okay, go ahead, Jessica. Answer that.
I mean, for you to say, there is excitement on the Republican side, it obviously comes from Donald Trump and his effect on the race, which I think has been quite negative in terms of the way the campaign's been run, but also the fact that we aren't really dealing in ideas since his plans are so far from concrete. I have no real idea of how he's going to get anything done that he says. But to say that, I understand there's more enthusiasm for Bernie Sanders, but as we roll into Super Tuesday, where she's leading in majority of those states, and looking at what looks like it's going to be a huge win in South Carolina, I think that you're going to start to see a lot more enthusiasm for her. She's winning the woman vote again. She won by 16 in Nevada. It's looking like it could go over 20 points in South Carolina. I know she's no Donald Trump, but thank God for that. And I'm excited about it. So I don't think the enthusiasm gap is nearly as large as you're making it out to be.
If I could, Eric, usually when there's a negative race being run, and when there's name-calling and when it gets acrimonious, what you often see is people vote with their feet by not voting. And what we're seeing on the Republican side is more people are engaged and involved than were when Mitt Romney was winning this nomination or John McCain was winning this nomination. So you can hurl all the insults yourself you want at the Republicans who are running, including Donald Trump. But the fact is it's engaging people because they care about their future. And I think the biggest problem for Hillary Clinton is Democrats are just not excited about her. And Americans aren't either.
But, Matt, what does it say about the tenor and the tone of the campaign? I just talked to Katrina Pearson about this, Mr. Trump spokesperson. I mean, look, calling a senator of the United States, Rubio, has got a little mouth. The senator talking about Donald Trump with this, and Arthel's laughing over here because this stuff is unbelievable.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
Honestly, this stuff we've never really heard all of this. You can maybe go back to the 1860s, but these brickbats back and forth, Matt. What would you do to your kids? You take them, you grab them by the ear like this,
what I do.
Put the soap in their mouth, and say, "You got a timeout."
I know what I do. Everyone goes to their room. And there are times when I think all the Republican candidates should go to their room. But, when Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were running against each other 8 years ago, they were calling Bill Clinton a racist. And Hillary Clinton was at the podium saying, shame on Barack Obama. They were at each other, hammer and tong. And I think what's the difference with the Republican race is that it seems a little petty sometimes with these charges back and forth. And I do think we have to get beyond it. Look, there's a challenge in front of Donald Trump. He's done a great job of grabbing the attention of 30 to 40% of our electorate. If he's our front runner and if he's to get the nomination, he has the next stage, which is he's got to be the nominee for a majority of Republicans and also for a majority of Americans. And I think we're going to have to transition out of this moment, which I agree, Eric. Sometimes it makes me I'm scratching my head, too.
Jessica, quickly, last word.
Well, I think to compare to what went on between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama isn't fair. Donald Trump is out there mocking disabled people. He's using curse words about Ted Cruz. He's gone after Marco Rubio in that way. He's, called Mexicans criminals and rapists and the such. So to make a comparison to two politicians like Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, who they fought fiercely, but it doesn't matter if they hated each other. They exchanged ideas. Donald Trump does not exchange. What do you mean? Oh, come on. When was the last time you heard Barack Obama mock a disabled reporter and do that?
You know what? Kind of almost just like this. So we'll stop now and watch the candidates, Matt and Jessica.